the whole body count thing.
Oh, let's go. Let's get into it.
Like, if you're a mature adult, okay, this is beyond like relationship and morals and vows. If you're a mature adult, you can see that person for what they are at that time when you meet them, and not for what their past is. So even like
Okay,
for
pause.
guys,
Pause real quick. So you don't believe that your past determines your present?
No, I do. I believe it builds the foundation for that person.
Okay.
Like, yeah, definitely. It shapes that person. It guides that person. It definitely builds that person up to who they are in that present state.
Okay.
But I feel like you should take them as a whole and that present, not for what they came from. Because, like, for me, I've come from, like, a very poor background. Like, from... like nothing.
Yeah.
But now I can pay my tuition. I live in a really nice place. I drive a really nice car, and I pay my own tuition. I pay my own bills. I can't say that for my past.
Yeah.
My past self couldn't do that. My past self was dumpster diving. My past self went to Salvation Army. My past self.
But
But like those, you can't base me off my past.
But no. That's different. What you were just describing was you actually going from bottom to top. We are talking about you making bad choices and you making bad decisions, or not having. Actually, I want to be actually very specific with my words. You're not being disciplined enough to know you as a woman is your value, is your purity to some degree for men.
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure, because that deals off of self-love and self-respect as well,
Yeah.
self-discipline. If you continuously put yourself out there and you're thinking, okay, every guy is gonna be the one, and if I give him this, that's gonna be the one that's gonna take me home and get me married and we can have babies together. You're delusional.
God damn,
I'm
how you
so
went straight to
sorry.
that? All right.
No, like not every guy you meet is going to be the one. That can be your frog, that can be your toad, that can be your snake, that can be your learning lesson. And if you can't accept that as a grown woman to develop through life, that's your personal problem. Because
I would say,
as a high value woman, you need to learn how to grow, be bigger, be bosser, know your levels, know your strengths, know your boundaries to make it through life, because that's what it is to be a high value woman.
I mean, the thing is, men who are actively looking for spouses, they're not going to, necessarily, especially in this modern day, they're not going to necessarily base it off of, oh, you made one mistake or two mistakes here or whatnot. But when you racked it up to 30, I mean, niggas start doing the math and it's like, okay, shit, she 20 and, she started when she was 20, now she 30. And that means
if you're doing that at 30, baby, you need to move on.
That means you got,
grow up.
that means you was fucking 3 niggas a year.
Yeah.
Niggas are doing the math.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's important to guys, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. It's important to a guy to know that he's got something that's exclusive. Okay. Just like when you buy a priceless watch or something like that, you want to make sure that the previous owners took care of it. And chances are, if you got 30 bodies, most of them dudes was just fucking and discarding. You know what I'm saying? So they weren't really treating you as a mate, and that is going to translate into the relationship. Now the woman is taking her past experiences and bringing all that that past trauma and that back relationship trauma into the relationship that she's trying to build with that man. And it's a comparison game. And it's not necessarily that guys are not willing to compete. It's just that why would I do this for this woman when I know that I can find a woman who is probably younger, who has not had as much experience, and who I can take and really turn into the spouse that I want to see myself with for, essentially the rest of my life.
That's because men know that women are replaceable. They're taught that as boys.
Wait, what?
No, like every dude
it's the other way around.
Personally, for me, every dude I've hung out with, from my personal experience, I'm speaking off of my personal experience. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what these girls been through. I don't know what you've been through. My personal experience, every dude I've ever had like friendships with, relationships with, they've made it very clear that they know girls are very much so replaceable. Everything can be replaceable. You can train a girl. Guys know what they're doing when they get in relationships, especially guys that know that girls don't know their value. Because some dudes only get in relationships with girls because they don't know their value, because they know how valuable. No, literally.
Explain that for a second.
Okay, so I even girls know this. I've had a girl tell me, I only date dudes that don't know their value because they're more manipulative. They're more willing to do what I want and change who they are to what I want them to be. Like, That's how some people operate in this world. And some dudes operate like that because from personal experience, I've heard their stories. They're like, I don't date girls that know their standards. I don't date girls that are like, yeah, I don't, mess around with them on the first date. I won't smash them on the first date. I won't suck them up on the first date. I won't mess with a girl that don't do that because I know that she's gonna be more combative. I know that she's gonna hold me to a higher standard.
Yeah, but the way that you word it,
it's not like I'm hurt and I've been through that. It's just I've heard so many stories.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't go out in the dating pool anymore. And that's why I've only been in 3 relationships in my 22 years of my life. Yeah. Because I've had so many friends that have like learned me up on this. They've taught me game. They're like, yo, this is what's out there. This is how this is. This is how it's gonna be.
Okay, all right. I gotta pause. It's not about lesser than. It's more about they don't want a masculine woman. They don't want a woman that's already stuck in her ways. They don't want a woman.
Why does it have to be masculine though?
That's the definition of masculine. Masculine is independent, is combative.
Their value.
It's not about knowing your value though. It's about you being a man and being the leader and women following.
Oh yeah, I'm finna submit to my man. But I'm gonna submit to my man if he know what he doing. I'm gonna do anything he want me to do. I'm gonna be anything he want me to say if he can prove to me that he's that man that he's saying he finna be.
But a lot of the time, the problem is the women are saying, "Oh, I know my value. This is my value." Da da da. But it's overinflated because when you look at their results. When you look at the man that they're dealing with, I always say, look at the last 5 dudes that she dealt with. What did they do for her emotionally, financially, psychologically, physiologically? Okay, what did they really do for her? If they didn't do shit for her, then that means that her value is just diminishing.
Yes.
Because they really didn't do shit for her, and then she allowed them not to do shit for her. So like if I hear a girl and she's talking to me about, oh, well, the last nigga I fuck with, he was on some bullshit and he didn't respect me and this and that, and then the last thing I fuck with, I'm like, okay, so that you are attracting what you are. You're a reflection of if at the least what you want out of life. So if you are trying to work it out with a can't get right nigga, then you a can't get right bitch. Not saying you personally, but I'm just saying in general.
No,
I got you. And then Abby, we was on you. If you have 30 bodies, I know we went on a huge tangent, but if you have, I'm there. If you got 30 bodies, can you be a high value woman? Why or why not?
I think you can if you really honestly want to change. If you think that after all that, like that's you're done with all that and you want to be a better person, then what does that have to do with you having what you did in your past?
Okay.
Because
no, I'm trying to get through it first. Go ahead.
See, I feel like I fall on like a hard line with this